Hey guys, what's up? It's Jax here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to build an automatic villager breeder in 1.18. So let's get going. So here we have the villager breeder behind us. We have three main components. We have the farm here, which the villagers are going to breed in as well, because they need to harvest some food to breed. I'll explain the mechanic a bit later. And then we have this water transportation system, which is actually designed by Logical Geek Boy, so credit to him. And then we have this rail pickup mechanism, which is super simple but super effective to automatically deliver your villagers to wherever you want them to go. So, starting at the farm system, let's see how this works. So we have our two villagers here. Now villagers need food to breed, so having a farm around them like this is a great way to supply them with that food. Now the bigger the farm, the more food your villagers can get. Now, so you can expand this farm if you want to, but this is a good size for, say, something for a smallish iron farm, I reckon. Now, as well as this, if you do want villagers quickly and you have a larger potato farm somewhere else in the world, you can come over here with a few stacks of potatoes. So we have 5 stacks of potatoes here and throw them into this farm. The villagers will go ahead and pick them up, and that'll help them breed faster. Now, once they breed and a villager baby appears, it is going to spawn in this farmland like this, and it's going to spot these beds here. It's going to then run through this little hole here that is currently being blocked by this villager. Think that these two trapdoors here and here, these two here, which are open like that, are a full block and then fall down into this water mechanism. This water mechanism will raise them up onto this wall here, and on this wall, the villager's head won't be able to touch the water when they are a baby. So that means when they grow up, they will be able to touch the water and they'll be able to swim up like this. And once they swim up like this, they're going to go here and then get picked up by this minecart here like so, and get thrown off into wherever you want them to. So the pattern, the sort of flow of these villages is like this. Go up, down, and then back up. Now we have a baby villager here, so let's watch it go into this area. Now, it isn't instant going into the area because sometimes it is blocked by this composter here, but we do need this compost here. But we will see soon that the baby villager will go into that water source. And there we have it, the baby villager runs in there, and now it is sitting happily on top of that wall like so. And you can see, its head doesn't hit that water source above it. Okay, so now there aren't too many materials to get when it comes to this farm. None of them are too tricky to get. The trickiest thing to get are these two villagers in the capsule, but even then, you can get those from a village pretty easily. So, grab all these materials and we can get building. We're going to start by coming up 5 blocks with scaffolding. Then we're going to climb on top of those blocks and place a slab. Then surround that slab with dirt. Now this can be a little bit tricky, so I suggest adding a few extra scaffolding blocks like this, just to place your first block. Now create a 3x3 square to start with, and then extend that one more out, so we end up with a 5x5 square around this copper slab, or any sort of slab. Once you've done that, waterlog this slab here. Then we want to surround this with glass, except for one side. Now this one side is going to be the side where our transportation area is going to be. So my villagers are going to be transported off this way. So I'm going to leave that side open. So let's fill up this with glass. All of the sides too high, like so. You don't need to add in the corners, they aren't important. Now if you would like to support me more and you're enjoying the tutorial so far, make sure to check out my Patreon and the Discord server. Link for both of those will be in the description down below. Now that you've done that, this is what it should look like. Now come on top of this composter here, on top of this slab here, and place your composter. Then place a slab or any sort of block on top of that. This is so the villagers can't jump up here and get stuck in the composter. Now we want to grab out our trusty hoe. You can grab out any sort of hoe and hoe this land to turn it into farmland. And because you have waterlogged that slab, you should see it gets hydrated pretty quickly. And you'll know when it's hydrated because it turns that darker color rather than this light pale dirt color. Then plant your potatoes. Just like this. Now on this remaining side that we have open here, come 2 blocks in on both sides. 2 blocks in like this on both sides. So that should give you a 1 block gap in the middle that is too high. Like that. Now from the side here, come 2 blocks out with a temporary block and then create a platform like this out of stone that is too deep. Then come 1 to each side, like so, and 1 more to either the left or the right. Now this is for our beds. You can add more beds if you want. It'll just increase the amount of baby villagers that can be held in this area here, this small area. But 4 is the perfect amount for me, and I sort of recommend anywhere between 4 and 6. Okay, so now that we've got this, add an oak trapdoor on this block here, and an oak trapdoor on this block here. Now come down like so with 2 blocks of glass. Then come out down one diagonally like this. And then we want to bring this along until it reaches the edge of this stone. Then add a 2 high sort of wall around this, like so. Place a prismarine wall here at the end of the glass, and again surround that with glass. You don't need to add in these little corner blocks here. Villagers can't fall through that, so you don't need to worry about that at all. Now place in a water at the end here, and it should flow right to the wall, and actually should flow over it like this. Add a sign at this height here on this glass block. Don't need to put anything in it. Then come 1 block up with glass on these 2 sides, just like so. Come 1 down diagonally with stone like so. Place 2 diagonal up stones around that, then place rails in this pattern. This rail should be pointing down and connected to this rail here. This rail shouldn't be connected to anything. Power those rails with a lever, just on the bottom. Both of these should be powered. Now these have to be powered rails here, keep that in mind. Extend these glass blocks here, 1 further out, and then place some glass blocks on top of these rails, and then 3 like this. Now place water here, and it should flow over this rail perfectly. It shouldn't flow out everywhere. If you've done this all correctly, this is what it should look like. Grabbing out some building blocks to do our redstoning on. We want these to not be glass, we need these to be a solid block for our redstone current. We'll place 2 blocks diagonally on these sides, and place tripwire hooks on them. Then place string in between, and they should get activated or like pulled down like this, and you should see a slight change in their block state. They'll go from this to this. Now on the opposite side to where your rail is slanting, so mine is slanting to this way, so I'm going to go on this side, come 2 blocks out, and place 2 repeaters. Set these both to 4 ticks delay, so you want to click it 3 times. Make these repeaters go into 1 block diagonally up, and come 1 block diagonally down, place a piece of redstone dust. Then place a dispenser on that block, and place some blocks going to that dispenser at the level of this stone. Now place powered rails there, and this is what it should look like. This is the dispenser we're going to fill up with minecarts. So you can just fill this inventory up with minecarts, but if you plan on just having this AFK and always running, what you want to do is connect this up with a hopper and a chest above this. Now on this side, this is where you lead your villagers. You can lead these to anywhere you like, it's really up to you. So if we test this, if we trigger this tripwire, we should see our dispenser fires. So let's trigger this tripwire, and we do see that because the redstone current reaches all the way over to there, which is perfect, exactly what we want. Coming back to these trapdoors here, we want to grab out another one of them and place a block here, place a trapdoor on that block, flip it up, and then break that block. Just like this. Now you can place it in this orientation if you want, or you can place it like this, by placing a block here and flicking it up this way. Both work the same, but this one just looks a bit tidier because it's flush with the glass. Now of course, we want to make this area, all of these areas safe for these villagers, so we're going to add some extra blocks here and here, as well as that we're going to add some blocks on top of these tripwires. Then we're going to come along with any sort of light source. I'm going to use some jack-o'-lanterns because it's a great cheap way to light up your area using a block. Place a jack-o'-lantern here, and place a jack-o'-lantern here, here, and here. You don't have to add these jack-o'-lanterns in, but I do suggest you add some lighting in. Now it's time to grab our villagers. There are many ways you can get villagers into this farm. You can use something like a minecart. You can use a minecart through the nether. You can use some boats and pistons. There's a few ways you can do this. My favorite way is by putting a villager into a minecart and then making a track that goes all the way up to the farm. But it's up to you on how you do that. But what you need to make sure is that you have 2 adult villagers in this area. One needs to have the job of a farmer, and you can see this one does because it's taking the job of this composter here. Now that you've got that, you can fill these guys up with potatoes, or you can let them farm. But if I fill this dude up with some potatoes here, grab a few out, we should see them start to breed shortly. Now while they are doing what they want to with their potatoes, we're going to fill up this dispenser with our minecarts. Make sure these are regular minecarts and they're not filled with anything like with hoppers or chests, because that won't work. You don't have to fill it up with dime minecarts, you can fill it up with just one if you want. It's up to you, but I'd fully suggest filling it up as much as you can. Now if you are running a bit low on iron and you need some to make those minecarts, make sure to check out my iron farm. The link for that will be in the description down below. The villagers are now breeding, and we'll see a baby villager appear, and we'll see our villager breeder farm start to work here. And where is he? And he is in there, right there. There we go. And he ran straight for the bed, and he is already on the wall. So now once he grows up, he'll be sent off to whatever farm we choose just by connecting these rails up, or you can even have the villagers drop off at the end like this and stack up. So now you guys know how to build an automatic villager breeder. So that's going to be the end of this video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like, comment, and remember to subscribe if you are new, and I'll see you guys later. And remember, stay carbonated.